Hey everybody, it is a glorious day at the sea. Chag Sameach. I left a message before that this is my first Yom Kippur, I think, in the sea since I've been in Israel, and it's been very, very special. I spoke about that earlier. I'm hoping that I don't get drenched right now with the water coming over the camera. So I wanted to talk about, the Word of God says that the two greatest commandments is to love the Lord our God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second greatest commandment is to love our neighbor as we would ourselves. I think a lot of us are not necessarily doing that. It's very challenging to love our neighbor as we would ourselves. Well, then that means we need to take time to love our neighbor, the time that we would take to love ourselves. And I think that this is our job, so to speak. I spoke earlier, it's not our job to judge at all. That's a sin. It's God's job to judge others' lives. We judge our lives. We make good judgment for our lives, but we don't just judge other people as it does not pertain to our lives. But to live up to the second greatest commandment is much more challenging, I think, than the first. But in order to do that, I believe that is our job. That's really our job description, to love. If we were to choose love every time we were tempted to judge, but instead of judging, loving, we'd probably talk a lot less. And I don't mean leave encouraging messages, but I think a lot of us talk for the sake of talking. And I referred earlier in my earlier message that the Proverbs say when there's many words, it's not without sin. And so anyway, our job is to love. And instead of giving into the temptation of judging, if we were to love, that is what we're called to, love, period. That's our job here on this earth. And the other thing I want to speak about is, love is giving. And if we're born again, child of God, we've received Yeshua, but we're not giving in our life. See, giving comes naturally out of having a relationship with God in the name of Yeshua, through Yeshua. If, we get stuck, but if we're continually living in a lifestyle where we're not giving, we're only taking, something's wrong with our walk. And all of us need to be circumspect and scrutinize our own lives before God, not other people's. Because when we receive the love of God, gulp, we swallow, we drink from heaven, we swallow the love of God, the next natural thing is to give love, to give the love of God. If we're not giving, then something's wrong, and we need to scrutinize our own lives and get right on track with the Lord, because loving is giving. God bless you. And my heart is to encourage, if you're depressed, if you're stuck, God cares and He loves you. He doesn't want you to remain that way. So let's look to the Lord, and He is our answer to everything. God bless you from the sea, the Mediterranean Sea in Israel.